Hearing that gorillas and chimpanzees have fingerprints like us humans may not be much surprising, as they are said to be the closest relative to humans. But what if we told you that gorillas and chimpanzees are not the only ones that share identical fingerprints that we humans have? Welcome to the newest video from Animal Domain. In this video, we'll talk about how koala fingerprints are so similar to human fingerprints that they might contaminate a crime scene. To show your appreciation for the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Being one of the animals whose fingerprints are so close to humans that koalas can taint a crime scene. What would you have to say about this? Yes, this is so true that the discovery of the fingerprint of a koala is identical to us was done cause of police suspicion. 1996 was the actual year when police suspicion came on koalas after the research on chimpanzees and orangutans in 1975. What days to live in? Even the cutest animal that seems so sweet, the koala, has been suspected to be one of the animals who could taint the crime scene. Koalas, whose closest relatives are said to be wombats, have the fingerprints we do, but the fun fact is that, unlike humans, they use them for different things. Most of us use our fingertips for primarily two purposes: getting a good grip on something that we hold or feeling the texture of the things we touch. On the other hand, koalas use their fingertips to inspect their food before eating it. They are some picky eaters who, at a certain age, mostly eat eucalyptus leaves. Then, having the same fingerprints as us undoubtedly impacts a few things. For example, the fingerprints they have can manipulate the police in any crime scene research, as by seeing their fingerprints, it's tough to detect if it's the fingerprint of koalas or humans. The fingerprint suspicion was discovered by a Polish-Australian man, Maciej Henneberg, an anthropologist. While working with koalas at a wildlife park in Adelaide, Australia, he noticed the fingerprints of koalas. So, now we know that a great man discovered the fingerprints of koalas. Can you imagine what else he found? No, not the gravity. He did further research on koalas and discovered that their fingerprints are not even detectable by a microscope. Microscopes can show some of the minor things known to humankind. But even the microscope may not help find the difference between prints of those whirling loopy ridges on the fingers of koalas. While it's not very likely that police would come across cases where koala fingerprints are found at the crime scene, it also won't be wrong to say that their fingerprints would be found someday. While here, many of you may think, if there is no distinction between human and koala fingerprints, how will the police even know if they came across a koala? Well, we will need to dig a little deeper into this thesis of koala fingerprints identical to humans. While no research may show how a koala fingerprint is different from a human's fingerprint, some people say that, unlike humans, koalas' hands are not filled with ridges. As you see your hand, you can see some unique patterns/ridges all over the hand, but koalas most likely do not have them. It may even merely be a theory, but one true thing is that their hand size does not match humans' hands. The fingertips might not help spot the difference, but the hand size indeed will be a crime saver. Do you know what else is insanely surprising about koala fingerprints? The fact that their ancestors, or, you can say, closest relatives, such as kangaroos and wombats from whom they revolutionized to koalas, did not have fingerprints. It's prevalent to say that we have fingerprints cause our closest relative gorillas also had fingerprints. But how can it be possible for koalas, who on the evolutionary tree belong to a different branch called marsupials than our primates? No proper research could say that koalas got their fingerprints from something. However, scientists believe that koalas developed fingerprints on their own in the recent history of evolution. Some people think that they revolutionized and have fingerprints cause koala has to climb trees which require a firm grip on the wood. In other cases, such as eating the food they eat, such as their favorite eucalyptus leaves, they also need a good grip. What do you say? Could this be the logical reasoning? As we all don't know the truth, these few reasons, like the need to grab trees, are the only rational justification currently we have that can solve this mystery. The mystery may remain a mystery as of now. But the one point that most people are concerned about is a crime scene tinting by koalas, which is the last thing in which koalas can become a hurdle. Want to know why? Koalas' day is way different than ours. They don't have to go to school or work. They sleep for hours, which takes us to another interesting fact. They can sleep above 20 hours a day, meaning the only time they have left in a day is to eat and climb trees. And unlike what the dog doing, koala is doing nothing. You would be amazed to know that wild koalas suffer from chronic stress, and they also have emotions. They suffer from stress caused by the trauma of any accident. This is why only trained people are allowed to hold koalas, mainly the wild ones, considering that wild koalas are afraid of people, which can make them fearful and traumatize them. The chances of koalas tenting a crime scene are 0 to none, but there are still some. If there is any koala thinking of doing so, they better not be leaving behind fingerprints that can lead them to prison. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you appreciate the channel.